your bubble.
That thing lied to you.
I got it. I have the same condition.
We've got food coming, so I'll try to make this quick. No more than an hour and a half. We still do not have a permit. It's a close of business today, no permit. So we just continue on. The frustrating thing is I got a message from Capitol Police not long after I submitted the last things they wanted to clarify this morning, saying that I needed a separate permit to do our march to the Capitol.
Wow. No, we don't. Yeah, it is.
So, and they needed it ASAP. So, I almost sent them a picture of the Constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about what I'm getting ready to do. Nothing's going to change here. So, we did. Joe made a phone call to Parks Department today, asked if he could sit a chair on the lawn. He said, yeah. He said, well, what if I want to sit there for like 8 or 10 hours, play a couple games of chess, and drink a cup of coffee and read a book? The guy said, sounds like a great day to me. So I'm getting conflicting reports there, or messages. So when I heard that, I immediately got my chair when I'm sitting in the shade. Anybody got any chess games and a table and a cup of coffee? I've got some good books, so I don't need those, but everything else is good. I'm getting tired of being played with. I'm getting tired of
me too.
being messed around with. You're always tired of getting played with.
I'll be honest with you, Santa. All the permits, they can take them and shovel.
I'm starting to get tired of being played with, so that really means something.
We could borrow Donald Trump's.
Don't you stand there looking angry and mad at me.
I think it's 3D.
So what I would like though is keep it. Let's stay out from between these two sets of trees, the smaller tree there and this smaller tree here. Let's stay out of that area because we've been sitting in that area. Let's just move it down to this area down here. And next time we'll move it on that side of the electrical box or back further. And I know why we're congregated here. This has become the center of our movement because that's where we eat. Trust me, a fat man gets that. So we do have some people coming in next week. I've contacted all three of the leadership of the other groups. One guy is now iffy. We expect that. But the other two, really strong, ready to roll. They're excited about it. So over the next few days, we should see more and more coming in. We do not have a permit for the big trucks. That's tough. I'm sorry. You heard me. That's tough. Our big trucks are a part of our protest.
We can put chairs on the
I'm a
lawn.
truck. You know. Well, I'm not a truck. But
I
identify
heard that
as
conversation
one, so
with
take
my
it.
own ears. They did say we could.
With that being said, when I talked to the Parks Department this morning, or last night, when I had my meeting with them last night, they said that what we're doing here is not authorized. Even with a permit, they're not going to authorize us to stay overnight, sleep in our vehicles. Tough. If you guys, I'm just telling you guys what to expect. If, you know, push comes to shove, they could start making trouble for us here. If you got a live stream, put it on it. I've said over and over and over from the beginning of my involvement in the original convoy, if you don't believe your government is tyrannical, peacefully protest them and see what they do. Anybody remember me saying that?
Yeah, I do. And look what they've done.
So, yeah, if they want to jerk the covers back and show us who they are, then they got the opportunity to do that because we are peaceful. we're literally paying for parking here. Most of us. Some of us are taking tickets. But most of us are paying for the parking here. We've not accosted one citizen. We've not laid hands on anybody. We've not burned anything to the ground. We've not looted any stores. It doesn't get much more peaceful than this, except for maybe a shuffleboard tournament in Florida at a retirement community. And honestly, if you've seen some of those folks play shuffleboard, I'd rather be here. It's serious business. Would like to thank Eric. He made us another flagpole and brought it out. He's the one that made this one.
Hey, Dave, look at that. Hey.
Yeah.
What's up, Dave?
What's up, brother?
These are his. Look in the camera there.
Which camera? All right. There's too many cameras.
That camera.
All of them.
That camera.
You're welcome.
And don't forget to look into that camera.
That dude right now made that flagpole for us.
There's one over there.
The
that's
FBI
got 5. Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you, Julie.
That's the one we want you to look into. So thank you.
They know who I am. I'm sure I'm on some other list.
Yeah. Hey, if you're a patriot not on the list, you ain't doing nothing.
Ain't that the truth?
Again, come back to tough. So anyway, I just want to make you know, aware, let you know, make you aware, that they're gonna up their game. So
Up there. We up ours. Ta-da!
No, we definitely up our game.
So we're gonna up our game. So
Up there. Up there.
I'm not going anywhere. So
I ain't going nowhere.
I ain't going anywhere.
yes, you are. You're going home next week.
Actually, tonight.
It's tonight. Because
You're a week behind.
I was chewing him out.
I'll be back tomorrow.
I was chewing on him for being loud up at the Capitol today. He goes, hey, I'm going home tonight. It's like, well, that doesn't solve anything.
I'll be back
I
tomorrow
need you here.
and Tuesday.
All right. So anyway, just want to let you guys know what's going on. So if we can move in off the sidewalk and let them have room to get by us, you know, this is what we came to do, and this is what we're going to do. So,
I need to bring our chair again.
but I want to let you know, anybody that's not willing to face those kinds of consequences, you know, you got a choice to make. If you're willing to face those consequences,
No, you're good.
you still got a choice to make. So I've made mine. You make yours. All right.
Was there any discussion on the permit or just a no?
No. They from my understanding, everything but the big trucks and the sleeping in their vehicles was okay. We still are not permitted to do that, which kind of ticks me off because they said they needed the company that I was getting the porta potties from and where I was going to place them. So I told them, you know, Monday they're going to be here. I think that's
That's good.
There he is. He's back.
But so anyway, somebody help them unload real quick.
Bring it down here.
So I went ahead and actually put the order in for the toilets, and actually Patriot Q, the stage that we used back at Bunker Hill,
Patriot bag.
is not available anymore. It's not let's look at it. It'll probably be all right now. The trailer that we used for a stage back at Bunker Hill, that has been removed from the premises. So I don't have available that trailer, but Patriot Q, I reached out to Patriot Q last night. He went out and purchased a trailer for us today.
Yeah.
He'll be here.
Woo! Yeah.
If the permit does come through, then we'll put that stage in that gravel area right there. Has to be, I think it said 15, how many feet from the edge of the grass? I've got it in there. I think it's 15 feet from the grass. We'll use that for our rallies and stuff on the weekends. We'll do our karaoke and stuff from that. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Yes, sir.
One question was, with everybody running their ACs, are we getting reimbursed like we did in Bunker Hill?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I just wanted to clarify that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the statement, I want to give it up to Josh for what happened yesterday. I don't know if everybody knows. I know most of us do. But he went to the J6 hearing, and was that a cop that was supposedly there?
Well, he's not talking too much about it because he needs to seek legal counsel.
Either way, I just want to show him respect.
I think
We were just trying to get an interview.
What's important that you know about that was, if you remember yesterday when we were up on Capitol Hill, the guy that had the big sign around his neck, he physically assaulted him last night on video.
In front of police.
In front of police. Or police. Not police. Police. Not police. In front of the police. Thanks for sucking me into that. I just repeated what he said.
Someone got me too.
In front of the police, he was assaulted by that guy that had the sign that said the far right has a gun to our head or something like that. It's amazing that that's the sign he's carrying around hitting on people with.
The funny thing is, the far left is doing that.
Exactly. The far left have a slimy message that is so easily countered that they have to resort to violence to try to shut you up. So be ready for that. AJ, people are asking about you everywhere. AJ.
AJ!
People have been asking.
AJ's here, y'all. There he is.
Hi, buddy.
AJ is here. Good to see you, man.
Finally here.
Good to see you.
What's up?
Bring food?
Yes.
All right. You're
But
all
I can
right.
only feed a few people.
Get out of my face. Everybody loves AJ. He's a good
Yeah.
man.
Did you bring your dinner bell?
I brought both megaphones.
Nice. Good deal.
I would have brought the Paul Revere bell, but that was huge.
Glad you're here, man. Glad you're here.
AJ.
Little one's here too. So anyway,
Oh, my boyfriend's here.
that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Stay tuned for more developments. If anybody comes up to you and you don't feel like talking to them, phone them to Tom. He'll talk to them.
I'll talk to him.
I don't want to talk to. No, you're not talking to him.
You heard
They don't
them
want to talk to
saying
me.
What needs to happen again? Let me just reiterate again. If a news media comes up to you, point them to me or Tom or Justin first.
Yeah.
If they want to interview you afterwards, I want to make sure our message is there. The three of us are authorized to put out the message. They want to interview you about why you're here, where you come from, stuff like that's fine, but the message needs to come from one of our preordained messengers, okay? I want the message out. I want the message out. I don't want, I'm sick and tired of gas prices. I am sick and tired of gas prices. Yeah, exactly. I'm sick and tired of gas prices, but that's not why I'm here.
That ain't why I'm here. But
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
one of them.
That
That is one of the reasons.
that's a hot button issue. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yes, Omar.
I know what you're talking about, but that's
That's a subcategory now.
Yep.
Yeah, we need the big
That's
headers.
a
That's not at the top of my list, but it's up there.
It's one of them. I'm not going to lie. I use this phrase many times, and I'll still use this phrase till I die. I would rather mean tweets over gas prices any day.
So anyway, our message. And let me tell you our message again. Our message is that the federal government, you guys know this, you've heard it so many times, the federal government was never supposed to be this big. It was never supposed to be this powerful.
1776 restoration.
Woo! See, even the people on the tour buses love us.
We are actually now a part of the tour.
Hey, are we getting paid for that?
No.
Damn.
We'll take the free
Paid for
advertising.
freedom.
The message is the federal government was never supposed to be this big. Our founders, some of them didn't even want a federal government. They were afraid of this very hour that we're living in. And the states were supposed to have their sovereignty. Again, if a state wants to make a crazy law, I'm saying this over and over because I want you guys to get it, the truth of why we're here. If a state wants to make a crazy law, they have a right to do that. there were 13 petri dishes of freedom when this thing first started. And they were supposed to experiment individually to see what worked and what didn't work. And the thing about it is, what worked in Virginia wasn't going to work in Maryland. The states had the right to make those decisions on their own. The federal government actually only advised the states at that particular time. If a state makes a law, I don't like it, I live in that state, I can petition that state government. If I can't get that rectified, then I can move out of that state.
Amen.
Amen.
It more closely aligns with my belief system. But if the federal government makes that same law, it don't just affect one state, it affects all 50.
It becomes
So
the
then,
United Cities.
then where do I move? That's the point. The federal government doesn't have the right. They're using agencies like the EPA, DOT, and different agencies. I've been able to count for 437
They're using the
different
concept
agencies.
of safety.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Using these agencies to control our lives. So if the EPA has a problem in New Jersey, that's my favorite example, they have a problem in New Jersey, they fix that problem in New Jersey, but they make a law all across the United States that affects everybody. It works well in New Jersey, it fixed the problem there, yes, but it doesn't work in Massachusetts, or it doesn't work in Ohio, or it doesn't work in Indiana. See what I'm saying? These federal agencies need to be state agencies so they can hone in on the problem. If the state so desires to have that agency, let them be state agencies, not federal agencies. This is a monumental task. Never forget that. What we're wanting to do here is turn a big old luxury cruise ship around in the middle of stormy seas. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to happen slowly. Maybe. I don't know. It may happen quick. God's in control. I'm not. But in my mind, it's going to happen slowly. So it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. And it's going to take people showing up to stand up for your individual liberties. The difference between a democracy, which we are not a democracy. I started to have a debate with a lady over here a while ago, or the other day, and she wasn't wanting to talk. She was wanting me to hear her point of view. So I said, nice talking to you, and turned around and left. If you're willing to have an honest, open dialogue, I'll stand there all day long and we'll talk about your ideals versus my ideals, or your ideals versus the Constitution. But a democracy focuses on equality. And where they get that from is from the Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal. Well, that's true. All men are created equal under the eyes of the law. And at the point of creation, we're all equal. But once we're born, everybody has a different set of talents. Everybody has a different set of skills. Some people have more ambition than others do. Everybody has their own path in life that they have to choose, which immediately makes us unequal at the end. We're never going to be equal. Joe is better looking than I am. I don't like him because of that, but it's just a fact, all right?
Remember,
So Joe has better luck with the ladies than I do.
Remember, I was Joe.
now you want to be Joe. Everybody wants to be Joe now.
Amen.
See what I'm saying? There is absolutely no equality in humankind. Somebody's going to be stronger, somebody's going to be faster, somebody's going to be smarter, somebody's going to be born into a more affluent family than another. But we're equal in the eyes of the law, meaning that when we have our day, according to the Constitution, the constitutional republic guarantees
Everybody.
your individual liberties.
Amen.
That's the difference between a democracy and a constitutional republic. Constitution focuses on equality. A democracy focuses on equality, and a constitutional republic focuses on individual liberties. That's why we want individual liberties. That makes me able to rise to whatever level that I choose to rise to. Take away all the restrictions from me, let me grow to my own level. That's why we want a constitutional republic again. We do not want a democracy, and I don't know why anybody would be tinkering with the idea of becoming a democracy, because no democracy in history has ever been successful. It's always fallen apart. It has always fallen into violence. Why? Because democracy is mob rule. So when their message isn't good, then they have to resort to violence in order to force that message. If you have to resort to violence to force your message, something's wrong. Something is wrong. Especially when you have a constitution. We don't have to go to violence, folks. We don't have to. This country is the only country that ever fought a war to end slavery. No other country done that. We shouldn't have had to done that. But people were not willing to sit down and hammer that issue out, and so they went to war. Should have never happened. We could have handled that in a better way. Let's just admit it. We could have handled that better.
And because the message is so complex, that's why Santa has asked that there only be a couple of individuals. We can't explain this the way it needs to be to get the message across appropriately.
It's not just that. We don't want just anybody, saying, I want the message. I want to make sure the message goes out. Afterwards, you can say whatever you want to say. I don't care. Make sure it's try to keep it with our message, if you will.
Laura just quoted a thing on here. I think I'd like to read out to everybody. Those who do not freedom to others deserve it not for themselves. Abraham Lincoln.
Absolutely. So
I'll help you pack. You ain't got to stay.
easy. Ever just what she wanted, guys.
Get a dictionary. Sorry.
Why don't you listen
Stop.
to Santa, Teddy Bear? Come on.
Enough. I tell you what,
That's what Santa's talking about.
You
It's about
you
a clear
just gave her
message.
what she wanted. She wanted attention. Her daddy didn't hug her enough when she was a child, and so she wants attention. So don't give it to her. Let her go on.
She's so happy right now.
I know.
Then
Yes,
how are we gonna give a
everybody
clear
hollered out at her.
message?
Gave her exactly what she wanted. So
Thank you, Cheryl.
Back to the message, guys. It's so important, so very important to get this message out properly and clearly. I volunteer with an organization called Samaritan's Purse. It's world renowned. It's a Billy Graham arm of this the corporation. They have certain people in place to give their message out. Not just anybody gets to talk to media. So if they do it properly that way, in order to get that out, please know that he is choosing a good way to do
It's
this.
a press secretary to make sure the message is clear.
yeah, exactly.
As long as we ain't got to circle back, I'm fine.
They want to hear your human interest story. I want them to hear the message. So let them hear your human interest story. Tell them why you're here, why you chose to be here, how many days you've been here, things like that. But let one of us give the message, all right? Back to democracy versus a republic. Whenever you start talking about equality, and that is the driving force, equality, that begins to segregate people. Again, none of us are equal. Standing here in this group, there's 25 people here. No one of us is equal with the other. There's always going to be something that lifts you up or I'm going to be lower at. We're all unequal. But again, according to the Constitution, I have my individual liberties just like you do. I can be who I choose to be just like you can. But if you try to make people equal, they're going to have to pull us down to the lowest level because there's people that will never rise above a certain level. They don't have the ability to rise above that level. Do you want to come down to the lowest common denominator in America? Absolutely, I do not. So equality is communal thinking. They're trying to bring us together into communities, and you'll hear those words used a lot. Communal thinking is Eastern philosophy, not Western philosophy. We're a Western country. We're built on Western philosophy. Western philosophy is a man pulls himself up by his own bootstraps. He doesn't stick his hand out for anything other than a handshake. A man makes his own way. And when I say man, I include women. I shouldn't even have to say that, but I do. So we are the masters of our future. We are the masters of our lives. And when I say that, I'm not discounting God. You If you let God become the master of your life, trust me, your life's going to be a whole lot better.
Amen.
But we have that choice to serve God or not. That is your choice. God gives you that choice. Why would I take that away from you? So God gives you that choice. I'm going to give you that choice as well. Communal thinking is actually communistic thinking, where everybody is equal. That's what communism is. Everybody shares alike. Well, communism has been tried, and what we call communism is not communism. It's actually socialism. Actual communism is when it actually socialism reaches that apex where everybody truly is equal. And since that will never happen, why are we still working with socialism as a way to make people equal? It'll never, ever happen. It's been tried time and time again, and just like democracy, it has always failed. It will always fail.
Yeah, the only reason that is because at one point you're going to run out of other people's money.
Absolutely.
So that's why we don't want communism. Because
Well-
they're going to take from everybody, and you're going to run out. So when you run out, people who are getting those free phones and those free housing and stuff, they're going to be pissed because they ain't going to be able to pay for it anymore.
Why would I work 70 and 80 hours a week
Thank you.
to have the same thing you got working 30 hours a week? Why would I do
Why can't
that?
we step up as human beings and increase our morals and take care of those people that are having issues making that
That
food?
is
Exactly
We're having
right.
issues getting that food.
that
We
is
need
the
to go to our
church's
churches,
responsibility,
our social
which leads us
in our
to
states.
it leads us
The
to our
government's
second
not gonna
plank.
give us that.
Our second plank is the church has let us down. The church has seceded
We
their
are the
duty.
church. We the people.
I
We need
understand
to
that.
stand
We're
up.
also the country, but look where we're at. You know, we have done it to both
That's
sections.
increasing their morals. You gotta bring moral back to society.
The church has seceded its duties to the government. How's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? The church was supposed to feed the poor. The church was supposed to take care of the orphans and the widows. That was our responsibility, and we gave it to the government. Not their job, and they suck at it.
You gotta get back into the church so you can support your church so they'll be able to help them elderly. And help them
Absolutely.
homeless and get them off the
Absolutely.
street. You gotta
Absolutely.
go to your church and you gotta let them know, hey, I'm here to help.
Well, the
Whatever
thing-
I can do to help.
The thing about the church is it's harder to take care. It's harder
I
to
know,
rip.
right?
It's harder to rip somebody off at that level. You know, there are people that take advantage of the government system, and it's so huge and it's so monstrous that you can't police it anymore. But a local church knows who the scoundrel is.
And they
They're
don't
going to be able
treat
to
you
see
like
through.
dirt. They
Well, they're
come
going to
along
see
to
through it
lift
very
you up.
quickly. Well, there's some churches that still do, but I remember back a few years ago, I had a really rough time, and somebody told me that the church up the road would pay my electric bill, and I said, no, they're not. I'm not going to do it. I'll pay my electric bill. That kind of pride needs to come back into the American heart. That kind of pride needs to come back into the American spirit. Don't be wrong, there's times that people need help. But there are times that people don't need help, they just need to work. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
Amen.
And the church is able to find out who those people are easier than the federal government is, I guarantee. I made myself clear on that. The church has to step back up and do its job as well. We have our grievances. Chuck has written one of the most astounding. The church grievance is, I just got his other one. I haven't got a chance to read that yet. For the, oh, still okay. But the church grievance
Thank you, Chuck.
is powerful, and it hits the nail dead on the head. So, anything else? I guess our dinner's here. All right,
Ready?
let's go eat.
Wait, prayer and pledge.
Can we say grace?
We already did prayer and pledge. Where were you at? You were standing right there saying the prayer and
No, we came up late.
Meeting on time.
Everybody remember, morning meeting is at 8.
What happened?
Evening meeting is at 7.
morning meeting at 8, evening meeting at 7. Oh, we had a couple new people here. First time? Oh, yes. I thought you just walked up and were standing there listening. What's your name? Where are you from? Florida. All right. What's your name again? James. Well, it's good to meet you, James. I thought you were a passerby just stopping.
Thank you for being here, James. Saying that we brought him in. James.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Somebody else new?
Anybody else new?
Hold on a minute. I don't know. Hold on a minute. I think so.
He's from Boulder, Colorado, so I imagine
What's up, brother? Same old shit, different day.
He can explain it to you a lot better than I can.
What's that?
But I can explain it.
Oh, we're trying to take our country back and restore it to a constitutional republic. The government was never supposed to be the state, okay? It's supposed to guide the states, not order them. Each state's supposed to, by constitution, has the right to govern itself. Not anymore. Montana 2 years ago said they won't go have any speed limits. The government said yes you are, or you're not getting any funding for to repair your roads. So Montana said, yeah, we'll have speed limits. That is not how it works. The government, the states should make their laws. If you don't like the laws that the state made that you live in, you can either petition your state to change them or move to another state that more aligns with what you believe in. But now you've got the government making laws for all that affect all 50 states. You don't like them, now where are you going to go? Take for instance, your First Amendment. You've got the right to assemble and protest peacefully. Here, if you got more than 25 people in your group, you have to have a permit. We filed for that permit, they told us no. They basically said, screw you, you're not allowed to exercise your right. The Second Amendment right, people have the right to keep and bear arms. They keep putting gun control laws, making it harder and harder for reasonable, responsible gun owners like myself to get guns, but yet, over the last 20 years, there's been more and more school shootings. If their gun control laws actually work, they'd be less. Until they do away with the black market and illegal sales of guns on the street, ain't guns fly. Except violate your rights. Guess what? We'll put them in. And they're doing that with every right. I'll give you the best example, and it's probably the most sensitive subject. He and I've already had this discussion. He agrees with me. In 1913, when the Democrats took over the House, they radicalized the U.S. Constitution, giving themselves the right to impose taxes on your earned income and anything else they see fit. Since then, they put taxes on every single thing, forcing you to pay them just to exist. By law, that is slavery. You have the right, and God-given right, to pick a patch of dirt, build a house, raise a family, be happy. You're not allowed to do that unless you pay them for it. Or they're going to come and take everything you got and put you in prison. That violates the 14th Amendment. No person will be imposed to slavery without first being found guilty of a vicious and violent crime in the court of law. I've never been found guilty of such crimes, have you? How about you? But you're still paying those taxes, ain't you? Welcome to modern day slavery. Whether you like it or not, that's what's going on. But here's the problem though. They've got people so blind to what's going on because they're too busy staring at the phones, staring at a computer, wondering what's on TV, to pay attention to what they're actually doing. And you know who's to blame for all this? We are. We allowed it to happen. We turned a blind eye to it because we're too busy like this. Where y'all from? Y'all from here? What part of America?
I'm from Riverdale.
Remember back in the 80s and 90s?
That's a nice movie.
I will put it to you like this, and this is a literal fact. Mainstream media are called Us racist.
Oh my God, he's got this is like every nationality is here on the ball right now.
They called us terrorists, but we're not the ones going around burning buildings and cities, attacking children and elderly people. You're being lied to. This is a fact. Joe Biden has forced out over $600 million to keep this off of mainstream media. This is why nobody's covering it. And you've got this problem in every country.
Like 3,000-4,000 followers at a time. He's live streaming. Everybody see the phone.
I live stream.
He live
Hell,
streaming.
as a matter of fact, I'm still rolling.
How many people you got out here?
I just started live streaming Sunday, and I've got almost 1,000 followers already in a week's time. But all right, y'all, we're gonna cut this short, and I'll holler at y'all later.